This is Rating Descending,
where we watch IMDb's Worst 250 so you don't have to.
My name is Abigail Ward.
And I'm Michelle St. Clair.
And tonight we watch Shark Attack 3D. A weekend at the lake house in the Louisiana Gulf turns into a nightmare for 7 vacationers as they are subjected to shark attacks. Let's watch.
Hey. Hi.
Who are you?
I'm Claire.
Did we let you into this podcast?
Yeah.
Did we let you in? Michelle, did you let her in?
What? I'm still here.
You let me in the door.
Well, that makes sense. There's 2
God.
voices. One of them's not my voice. There must be a third. In this case, I'm the third.
Guys, today we have a very special guest on, Clare Rankine. Hello, Claire.
Hello.
Tell us a bit about yourself. What's your star sign? What are your hobbies?
I'm a Virgo.
Oh my God.
And that means I'm really neat.
Uh-huh.
That's cool.
And pedantic.
That is neat. Oh, I'm also really pedantic, but it's for very different reasons.
Okay, great. Are you a Virgo?
No, I'm a Sagittarius, which as far as I understand means misc.
All the leftover shit.
It sounds like they actually only knew how to categorize 11 types of people.
Michelle, you like traveling.
Yeah, I love traveling.
You're an adventurer.
If there's anything I love, it's
Misc.
going on an adventure and be outside.
To be fair, Michelle,
Famous
if your
Michelle
middle name
qualities.
started with an I, your initials would be Misk as well.
That's true, but it doesn't.
Crazy.
Well, to be honest, Virgos don't know anything about other star signs because all they want to know is about themselves.
Well, I'm a Gemini. I think we take the cake for that.
Fabulous. Great.
There's like a look of fear in your eyes.
I just don't know anything about
I don't
star
know
signs, and
anything
everybody
either.
seems to. I feel like there's been a switch that flipped
Do
somewhere.
you reckon? I feel like people have been into astrology since the 70s.
Yeah,
Genuinely.
look, makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But
Look, I don't believe in it, but it's definitely a bit of fun.
I feel like it spilled out of the sort of like crunchy hippie. Like as they were getting into anti-vax, they dropped astrology and that fell into the lap of queer women. And,
Yes.
you know.
yes, and now we're
Yes.
like, all right, now we'll get into CoStar, et cetera, et cetera. But I don't have CoStar.
I don't either.
I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I should like look at a little, I don't know, app every now and again.
I don't like the idea of an app telling me what to do every day. I make my own decisions. I
Yeah.
make my own destiny.
I write on the wall.
Yes.
And I'm like, you should smile at a stranger today. And I wake up and I'm like, who said that?
Who said that? So Claire, apart from being a Virgo, what else do you do?
Yeah, we have more interesting things than this to talk about. This is crazy.
I do quite a few things. I work in comedy. I was a comedy producer for quite a while.
Yeah, I was informed, like part of the way we met is that my darling girlfriend Brooke works with you, but also that you have worked with friend of the podcast, Alice Tovey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Alice.
I went to uni with Alice.
Oh, amazing.
That's how I met her.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alice and I did a show 10 years ago this year
wow.
called
What?
The Law Review.
Ooh.
And for our listeners out there who don't know what that is, because not many people do, it's a sketch variety show put on by the law school at the University of Melbourne. And
way.
just a couple of people have come out of it. I don't know, Kate Blanchett. She was in it.
What?
Not in my year, obviously, because
Jesus.
You look so young.
I would
for
be.
your age.
Yeah,
I had a
here on
full-on
Skin is
moment
glowing.
where I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I'd be on a yacht with Kate Blanchett probably.
Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. Not winning an Oscar.
No. Oh yeah. What do we think about that?
I mean, I was so
I was
happy.
very happy
That
with
was
the
the Oscar
Oscars.
I
Yeah,
was
of course.
most invested with was Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
winning.
I was most invested
absolutely.
with Brendan Fraser. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
I
was
really wanted
yeah.
him to win more than anything. I just
was
had to
most
see him
invested
cry.
with Michelle's mum, like watching in wherever she was,
Yeah.
and everyone's just like, "Oh my god, Michelle's mum, she won!"
You know, Michelle Yeoh is the only the second woman of color to ever win the Best Actress.
Yeah.
The first being
Come on,
Halle
Oscars.
Berry, and that was like
Really?
15
I don't
years
know.
remember
ago.
Viola
that.
Davis has won Oscars.
Adrian Brody kissed her.
What?
No, Adrian Brody
Viola
is not.
Davis?
Viola Davis has not ever won an Oscar.
What? Yes.
No, she hasn't.
Berry.
Oh, maybe she got it for Best Supporting Actress?
No, she hasn't.
What? I'm sorry, I'm derailing just for a second. I have to know. That's crazy. But Michelle, but Michelle won other black woman. There's no issue. What the fuck?
And she's also the first Asian to win Best Actress, which was described throughout, like, she was only the second, I think, Asian identifying, which was mostly because in the 30s, I can't remember her name, but there was an actress who was Asian and pretended that she wasn't because she knew she would get discriminated.
I
she'd been
remember
nominated.
seeing this in Ryan Murphy's Hollywood TV show. We all remember that, right?
Ryan Murphy
The
makes
Darren
like
Criss star
45
vehicle?
TV shows and like 3 of them are okay.
But the makeup and hair, beautiful.
Oh, yeah. And when they work, they're really fucking good. Was that one he did about
Right,
OJ?
by the way, it was just Best Supporting Actress. That's so heartbreaking.
It is,
Holy shit.
right?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the Oscars, though, by the way, because, I really did want to touch on that for a second.
When this comes out, it'll be like a month ago, but that's okay.
That's fine.
For us, it just happened.
Guys,
It
take
was
a
great,
trip
you
to the
guys.
past. Yeah. This is a bit of a nostalgia trip for you guys.
I think you want to hear our sizzling hot month late Oscar takes.
The donkey from Vanish Years of Irish Button.
Oh,
was
Jenny.
there.
Oh, Jenny was so cute. That film made me want a donkey.
Yeah.
Yeah. What did you say? Banishes of
I call it belly buttons of Irish Baileys. Because that's just who I am.
You know who would laugh the most at that? Martin McDonough. So I think you're okay.
I saw him talk to Taylor Swift about his film.
Did he?
Yeah,
I remember
Imagine
I
those
don't
two
know
together.
why.
No, I remember that because
They
it was
did.
they
It was
paired.
Variety.
It was Variety. It was like all these different directors talking about things. A lot of the directors were paired very well together, and then at the very end, it was Martin McDonough and Taylor Swift, and it was
because
like
she's
this
directing something.
because she had directed a bunch of her music videos and one short, and they
then
were
she
like,
will be directing.
"You should be allowed to interview Martin McDonough for
Yeah.
sure as a director."
At that time, because I love PR. I love like how people work behind the scenes. I'm a big fan of that. And at the time, just after that came out, that interview with Martin, Marty.
Oh, yeah, you're on first name basis with it.
him, Kate Blanchett.
Oh yeah,
whatever.
Marty McD.
Marty
Going
McD.
on holiday with him this summer.
Yeah.
Back to the beach house with
Yeah,
Marty.
of course.
And the gang.
And the gang.
T-Swizz.
And Jenny. Then there was an article that came out, and Taylor Swift is actually going to be directing a movie.
I still like if they
Written
put
by
her
her.
up against another like music video director or even short director or whatever, I'm like, then she is warranted to be there. Putting
Yes.
her against Martin McDonough, like multi-Academy Award nominated, some of the most acclaimed films of the last decade,
Yes.
feels intentionally mean to Taylor Swift.
Totally. But then if you I see again, PR, and I even know the name of her publicist. Her publicist's name is Tree Payne.
Tree Payne.
Treepaine, I think.
Tree
Taylor
Payne.
Swift fans, please don't come for me if I
How does T-Pain feel
wrong.
about that?
T-Pain.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I think he likes it. Taylor had did an Instagram post about belly buttons of Irish Baileys and then was seen at the premiere. So that's all
Right.
the link to
Got you.
the
She's
Variety.
a fan. She's a fan of him.
Yeah, totally.
Well, we all are. I mean, that was a great film. I really liked it.
was.
When Jenny died, spoiler.
Oh, spoiler. But I mean,
But-
if you're going to put a donkey in a movie,
It's
the
gonna
donkey's
die.
die.
If you have a cute
That is
animal
not
in
how
a
I
film-
remember
If you have a cute
Shrek,
animal-
guys.
Oh, you haven't seen Shrek 5 yet? Oh,
my
boy.
God.
It gets so dark,
The
man.
tragic scene where he's crying over Donkey.
Shrek 5, the demise of donkey. I fucked it up.
Shrek 5 in
Shrek 5.
space.
The donkey.
There's
donkey's
always a
demise.
space one. Donkey demise.
Back to what I do.
Yeah, who you are.
I work in comedy. I'm a producer. I'm a writer. I've started making a weird little character up at the moment. Yeah, I love emerging comedians. I work with a lot of them.
If any of them would like to be on this podcast,
I
let us
will
know.
Yeah,
reach out to them.
please.
Yes, everybody be on this podcast. It's fabulous.
Thank you so much.
And I just really love comedy. I've been involved in it for 10 years.
I love a good giggle.
This is not the podcast for you.
Sorry.
This is a very
is a
serious
serious
podcast.
This is a critical review
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where we are looking at that. Like, if you came in here with some hee-hees, some ha-has,
Some
prepare to get fucking blasted by
This
us.
is not a place for the chuckles, nor is it the place for a giggle or two.
I had many hee-hees and ha-has while watching this movie.
You are in for a world
Should
of
I
hurt.
leave?
Yeah.
In-depth critical analysis of some of the worst films in the world, and you think it's a place for jokes?
There's a reason we brought up the Oscars.
Yeah.
That's what this movie's about.
The Oscars. The shark just... Oh, well, we'll get into
Shark
it.
is the Academy.
Shark is the Academy. Yeah, I'd like to thank the Academy.
You're jumping the shark a bit there, right?
Hey.
But speaking of sharks,
Yes.
this
there we
week,
go.
guys.
There we go.
This week.
That was a shockingly regular segue for us.
I know. Usually they are forced, contrived, and horrible. This week we watched Shark Attack 3.
Shark Night.
Fuck! Shark Night 3D.
There's no way I'm cutting that out.
Did I say Shark Attack at the beginning?
You did.
Oh.
No, you said Shark Night at the very beginning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah, at the very beginning you,
can
did.
go back
Don't
and do
worry.
it. It's
Yeah,
fine.
because I'm reading this and I had written Shark Attack.
I'm cutting this bit out, but there's no way that I'm going to cut out you saying Shark Attack at this moment. It's not happening.
And this week we watched Shark Night 3D.
Yeah. I do also want to add up the top. It is also just called Shark Night. I discovered that because I was trying to get the movie for us and then found a version that was just in 3D. And so we had no means to watch it because it's year of our Lord 2023 and no one on earth owns a 3D TV.
No. All
So-
those 3D glasses from Hoyt's.
They're all just in the bin. No one's popping out the lenses and just wearing them now.
No.
All those 3D TVs have been thrown away for legitimately okay TVs, which is HDR, you know. We did it. We traded one awful technology for another.
It would have been further enhanced by 3D technology, though, I have to
Would it?
say.
Yeah.
Oh, the amount of times a shark leapt out of the ocean.
Yeah,
Would have
many,
loved to see
many
that. Many
times.
times. Well, Claire, what was your impression of this film? Like, overall thoughts?
Okay.
What's something you need to get off your chest ASAP about this film? And why did you choose it?
Well, you're known as the Shark Girl of Coburg, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Everyone's like, hey, Shark Girl. Actually, Shark Girl and Lava Boy was a fabulous movie.
Did we watch it for
No,
this?
we will have to watch Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but Shark Girl and Lava Boy we
What?
should watch separately to this.
What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait, did I say that wrong?
It is
Shark Boy and Lava Girl.
This is great radio. It is Shark Boy and Lava Girl. I was just doing a bit where you're Shark Girl. Now we're all very confused.
Yeah, because I
We
was
could
like,
just
Claire's
keep going.
right. Anyway.
Well, okay. This movie was, look, it was a bloody mess, if I can say that.
Hey, that would be a good. I think if that was in a review, they would have
Yeah.
put it on the DVD. It's almost
Yeah.
complimentary.
I mean, I write reviews as well.
Oh,
in
neat.
my other little dalliance.
Oh.
Oh, that sounded
Dalliance.
good. Sexy.
Yeah, sounds
Sexual.
Dalliance
lovely.
with
That's
Independence Theatre.
if I may, it was fucking hot.
I came.
I
It was
came.
great.
As quick as a shark leaping out of the water. Okay.
I've trained myself. I don't even have to touch it. I'm just like,
For the listeners listening at home, your face
don't
is very
describe
funny.
it. Don't describe it.
Using
great.
your like a shark prehensile penis to come.
Ooh,
Or is that a dolphin?
That's a
I don't
dolphin.
know. One of
Dolphins
them.
have prehensile penises.
Oh my God. What is that?
It's a penis that can grab
you
things.
can grab.
Which is why there's been cases of dolphin rape
No.
towards
No.
humans.
This-
Not that we need to get into
This
this.
I'm cutting
that
out.
quickly.
This I'm cutting. That's not what this episode's about.
So Shark Night 3D.
Shark Night.
Okay,
So this is one of those episodes.
first off, there was a lot of fast forwarding by the editors.
There was. Honestly, the edit of this is the most upsetting thing I've seen.
They travelled on a road from their campus
Oh, yeah.
along a highway
I've got it.
for 10 minutes.
Abby can confirm or deny, but I wrote down this has got to be a music video director because that 2-minute road trip scene with an indie song has to just be
Do you know who it was?
some guy's fucking music video
Taylor
dream.
Swift.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Under a pseudonym.
She would have
loves
been
that shit.
whenever this was. She would have been 16?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's the time.
and so then
That's
she
the time to
pivoted to
start.
music.
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Well, I was actually thrown because when around 2010, and this came out in, I mean, I literally have it here. Why am I asking you guys? This did come out in 2011.
2011.
And around 2010, 2011, I was really into this thing called Blarlock's Indie Rock Playlist, which was shortened to Burp. And Burp came out every month. And it was like every cool indie band's new single that they would like compile into like a 100-song playlist. So if you were like really into 2010 indie music, because you were like an angsty 15-year-old,
This was it.
like moi, you were all over that shit. And this film was full of it. So as much as I didn't enjoy myself during this film, I really did, because I was having a bit of a nostalgia trip. When they were like road tripping, I was like, oh my God, this is from Blarlock's Indie Rock Playlist.
Came out in 2011?
Yeah.
Okay, because the very first note I had is if this movie was made in any year that isn't 98 to 04, then the opening credits are a crime.
Yes,
Because
they
the
are.
fucking butt rock the opening,
Yeah.
awful. Or 2011? Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible choice. 2002, I'd be like, at least it was contemporary.
Yeah.
I will say, Claire, like, you're lucky that you chose this one, because some of the films that this film in this list right now is shrouded around, shrouded within, they're terrible. Like, they are slow and boring. At least this was like a bit of a jolly good time.
Yeah.
I watched 3 movies for the podcast last night, and I started with this one, and I wish I had closed on it, because it was
It's
an
a banger.
easy crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be honest, like I was skipping through it just a little tiny bit because there was so
didn't
much
miss anything.
fast forwarding. So I
There was
fast
a lot of filler.
forwarding.
Like, every time they're on a fucking, like, jet ski, like, for, like, 5 minutes, you're like, I don't need to see all of this.
To be honest, it would have been really fun for the actors actually, because it was just a lot of
hanging out by a lake.
hanging around by a lake.
Yeah, getting
Lot
blood
of hanging
tossed
around
on
by a
you,
lake.
which is my
Yes.
personal favourite pastime when I'm on holiday.
Yeah.
I love a big bucket of chum on my head.
which is a problem every time Abby and I try and go somewhere where there's going to be lots of other people. Usually I have to go around and I'm explaining like, no, it's she loves
likes
it. Don't worry.
It's consensual.
It's consensual.
Chum loves it too.
That's what they were worried about. They watched you pour chum on yourself and they're like, oh my, is someone making her do this?
I think also this is a star vehicle for Sarah Paxton.
Sarah Paxton, who is the blonde Alexis Bledel.
She
Is it she?
I
Holy
thought
shit,
she
she
was
is.
Alexis Bledel
Just
back
with
when we
a blonde
watched
wig.
superhero movie.
Yeah.
Spoiler, recurring.
Yeah.
She's
She's an all-star.
She's actually called, her character's name is Sarah,
Yeah.
in the movie. So
It's like
she was
Sarah
probably like,
Palsky or something. Polsky is like her surname. And it's like Paxton.
are you serious?
I'm serious.
Might as well, like,
I've written it down.
She's like,
It's
hey, so what's my name?
Sarah
for the-"
Palsky.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Sarah Paxton. What's my name for this this movie?
They definitely had a scene where they had to say her last name and no one had thought of it. And so they were like, Sarah And they'd look over at the jet ski at Palsky.
Palsky. That's me, Sarah Palsky.
so funny.
But she's actually, I actually thought she was quite, like, she's very watchable, in my
She's
opinion.
watchable.
Very, very watchable heroine. You know, she was,
Yes.
bland as, but that doesn't matter. I
Yeah.
still liked her.
Okay, so this is one of those movies where you're like, oh no, they're like focusing every time in the first 5 seconds of the movie when there's like a butt, they focus on the butt and then they pan up to the college and the person with the butt, who turns out to be Sarah Paxton, is walking into the college.
Yes.
And then she's on the treadmill and I've noticed that her phone had a timer, but it was like a movie of a timer. So they paused. It was like so it was on an old iPod or iPhone.
That's so funny.
And she paused it. It was like 3 hours, 13 minutes of her running
3
on
hours.
a treadmill.
She's got a disorder. That's
Yes.
wrong. That's like that's an issue.
That's an
3 hours
issue.
13 is particularly weird,
And
right?
also-
13, another Taylor Swift reference. She loves the number 13.
There you go. You're seeing trends. You're seeing patterns. Also, treadmills have timers. Like, the whole
Yeah.
thing is that you can just do it on the treadmill.
She doesn't
Did they
need
in
to watch a
2011?
movie.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
I wasn't on a treadmill in 2011.
To be honest, I did fast forward a lot of this movie because it was a lot of scenes of them riding jet skis.
It was a lot.
And
It
a
was
lot of scenes of people shot from underwater, and they're
it's
like,
always the woman's ass.
Hey,
Always the
bounce a
woman's
bit,
ass. Yeah.
and then turn around and bounce a bit more.
Yeah, and make sure that, like, you've really got your little, like, bottoms, like, pulled up a bit too
Yes.
high, just so
Yes.
it's nice for the male viewers. There's so
Yes.
many shots of women's legs and ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, I
Yeah.
mean, I'll get to, at one point was legitimately upsetting rather than, like, it's always a little upsetting because you're like, I didn't need this.
Yeah.
There's a point towards the end where I'm like, I really don't want this now.
Yeah.
But I know this isn't my episode, but should we to get into the key details?
Yeah. Well, what I was also just going to quickly say as well before we do that, they've got like 3 female characters and they milk every body part that they can. At one point
Really
they take
do.
off their tops to put on like bikinis and it's them being like
Yes.
Which, like,
Yeah.
the
It's too
windows aren't... They're doing it in front of the windows, but the blinds are closed. So I guess they're just doing it for each other and for themselves.
I mean, good for them. If they want to explore their bodies, great.
yeah.
Which is neat. You know, that's an angle to explore, but they didn't. But, you know, they could have.
Another, just quickly before we move on, I think this is also another star vehicle for Catherine McPhee.
Who is Catherine McPhee?
She is so interesting. She competed in Australian Idol.
Australian Idol.
Sorry, American Idol.
Okay. Yeah.
If it was Australian Idol,
It'd be Australian.
that'd be
Oh,
fun.
this is the actress that I put down as clearly not Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Clearly not her.
But
very
But in 2011 is clearly the star they wanted for
Yes.
a
And they were
horror
like,
vehicle.
let's go with the girl from American Idol.
Oh, we blew our whole
Yeah.
budget on Sarah Paxton. We can't afford...
We can't afford an
Exactly.
actress. Let's get a singer.
Well, she is a singer because she was also in the wonderful but severely underrated NBC show called Smash, which is
haven't
all
seen
about
it.
musicals.
Oh.
And she starred as someone, Karen was her name, Karen Cartwright. I remember watching this.
Cartwright's not a bad TV
It's a
name.
good TV name. And she, she was auditioning for a musical about Marilyn Monroe.
That's
It's
cool.
really, you gotta check it.
Okay,
I
well,
really
check it
recommend it. So I thought she was great in this movie, but obviously it's Sarah Paxton is
Yeah.
the star.
Oh, the
here.
star of the show. Actually,
the
well, I was-
star is the dog.
Yes, the star is the dog, which was, I'm so glad that dog didn't end up dying. Also,
thought it did.
something else that I liked about this film is that it was also Dustin Milligan playing
Yes.
like the lead boy Nick.
Yeah.
And Dustin Milligan is from Schitt's Creek as Ted, but also he was in that episode of RuPaul's Drag Race, which
He
was very
was?
fucking wholesome.
He was also...
No, you go.
He was also in Butterfly Effect 2,
Yeah.
meaning he is a rating descending all-star.
Yeah.
So him,
Second
Sarah
appearance.
Paxton in Superhero Movie, and Joel David Moore, you know, like the dweeby friend
Yeah.
who was
He was in
always there.
Dodgeball.
He was also in The Shaggy Dog.
Oh,
He's
wow.
wearing a very 2011 t-shirt as
Yeah,
well.
he
on
is.
the boat.
He's also wearing a trilby for most of the film,
Yes.
and that is vaguely
They
upsetting.
wear a lot of
Well,
trilbies.
it's 2011. That's a clear signal by the director of like, this guy's annoying.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's definitely an intentional, like, we're not meant to like this guy kind of choice.
So the main guy, before we get into this, the main guy who was his character, Dusty Milligram.
Dusty Milligram.
Dusty Milligram.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the film.
It's a great drag
And
name.
Irish Baileys.
Irish Baileys.
Belly button and Irish
Oh, I
Baileys.
love it. He starts off like he's wearing, it's the nerd thing. He wears like the glasses
Yeah.
and he's got like the high shirt. And then at the end,
He's buff.
he's so
buff.
buff.
He's actually
from all the
buff.
shark hunting.
Well, I didn't know this guy could be a Chad because
Yeah.
he was like a sweet little nerd in Schitt's Creek. He's like very sweet and affable and everything. And then all of a sudden he's meant to be like this guy called Nick and he's super into Sarah and I'm going to save you. Let me get into some key details.
Yes.
I'm ready.
All right. So this was directed by David R. Ellis, who is a stunt coordinator.
That is
Checks out.
Oh,
that
makes
is
so
emerging
much
to be a
sense.
trend in
Yeah.
this list.
Yeah. Apparently
was
he
so many
actually
stunts.
died not long after this film in a hotel bathroom, and they said that there was no foul play, but they never released why or how he died.
That's
Sounds
that's
like
sad.
suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say a shark.
in his bath,
You don't know what he got up to in there.
shark bath.
The shark
guy died.
jumped in
This
from the tornado into the water.
That's true. As we
poor
said,
guy.
we've got Sarah Paxton as Sarah Polsky, Dustin Milligan as Nick DeLuca. I'm glad they all have surnames.
DeLuca.
DeLuca. Hey, DeLuca over
Come on,
here.
DeLuca.
Hey, catch the shark!
Chris McCormack played Dennis Krim. Catherine McPhee played Beth Marza. They all have surnames. Like, it's just incredibly detailed. And then Joel David Moore played Gordon Guthrie. And then I stopped there because
Great
no one
name.
else really had Wikipedia pages.
Yeah, first.
Gordon Guthrie is a great name.
Yeah, Gordon Guthrie, not bad. Well, here's my little overview for you, and I've left out the details of how the kids die because I thought we could talk about that a bit as well.
Sure.
Especially because when I tried to go into detail, I was like, it's too much detail. This overview is long and bloated.
Yeah.
Let's just get into it later.
It's really hard. The overviews for movies where it's a bunch of seemingly unconnected things are really hard.
Yeah.
Long and bloated, just like the shark at the end of the movie.
That's right. Long and bloated, just like me. Every day. Something's wrong with my gut. Overview. Sarah Paxton has a lake house that she brings her 6 college buddies to. When they get there, they encounter local rednecks Dennis Krim. So it's just such a dumb name. And his hillbilly friend Red.
That's the guy with shark teeth, right?
Yeah.
Sorry,
okay.
I just said it. Dennis Krim. Krim.
He's a criminal. He's a bad guy. He's a thug. Krim. Yeah, and definitely a Dennis.
Maybe his name was Denny, and then they saw like a scrim, and they were like, "He's Denny's scrim."
They drove past to Denny's.
Sorry, I can't get over the fact that his name is Nick DeLuca.
DeLuca.
He's from the
Yeah,
Bronx.
Justin Milligan is playing a DeLuca.
Nick DeLuca.
It's easily the hardest to believe part of this movie.
Man. They also meet the friendly Sheriff Sabin.
Played by Donal Logue, who was not a returning actor, but he was in... I kept being like, why is he familiar? He was in this sitcom I watched as a kid that I cannot remember the name of. Oh, no. But he was in Ghost Rider, but the first one. So we have watched him related to Donal Logue, the sheriff. I can't remember who he was in Ghost Rider, but he was in it.
No way. Okay. While out water skiing for like 7 hours, Malik loses an arm to a shark. After they attempt to get him back to the local town, his girlfriend Maya is bumped off the boat.
Bumped off the boat? That kind of sounds like Nick DeLuca.
Nick DeLuca.
DeLuca.
You'll be swimming with the fish.
It's a classic DeLuca bit, you know?
come to me on the day and I see a shark and you do this.
I'm just going to rephrase that a bit.
Yeah.
While out water skiing, one kid loses an arm to a shark and his girlfriend is killed afterwards. No, that's worse. His girlfriend is later killed. Their boat out of the lake house explodes and they find themselves stuck. The kids get picked off one by one as it is revealed that Dennis is seeking revenge against Sarah for accidentally cutting his face a few years ago after they dated. Also, the sheriff is in on it.
Dennis tried to kill Sarah.
Yeah.
Accidentally
He tried to drown her.
Yeah, and she accidentally cut his face.
Actively was apparently watched her drowning and then did nothing.
Yeah.
She accidentally moved a propeller and it hurt him.
Yes.
And now he is trying to kill her and all of her friends. This is incredibly disproportionate.
This man has so much time in his hands.
Sarah and her love interest, Nick DeLuca, fight Dennis and Red and make it out alive. The end.
Oh, dude.
Or did they?
That's right. A different shark explodes out of the water to, I guess, its death on the land.
Now, Michelle tells Claire and I that there is a very good post-credit scene that we haven't watched.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to watch it right now. Wow. Okay.
Holy shit. This is an episode of 30 Rock.
Yeah.
This is a Tracy Jordan rap.
Yes.
Yes.
And then Jenna's like, hello.
Yeah, it's like the cutaways to like Werewolf Bar Mitzvah is
Spooky,
the cutaway
scary.
to Shark Night.
Boys becoming men, men becoming wolves.
Yeah.
Also, Dustin Milligan has once again become my favorite.
Yeah, because he
The fact that
directed
he
it.
made that?
Yeah.
I cannot believe that was made.
We have not explained to the audience what it was. What it was as a post-credits thing was once the credits are done rolling, it unexpectedly cuts to a music video, a very 2011 white people version of a rap music video.
It's very long.
It's really long.
And every one of the main kids has a section
Yeah.
where they are singing.
About 2.5 of them can sing and about 1.5 of them can rap.
To be honest, really shows off Catherine McPhee's chops.
It does.
Yeah,
And
it really did.
you know what? To his credit, Dustin Milligan can rap.
Yeah,
He was one of the.
very charismatic.
I think he was the best rapper.
He was very fun.
Yeah.
You know, he had fake grills at one point.
Yeah.
That's fun, kind of.
It was just a recap of the movie.
The movie that we just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy at the end who got his arm cut off is walking around
Really
with
sadly.
2 arms. He's like, yo, a shark. Hey, open up, lifeguard. A shark just cut off my arm. And then he just wanders
But he's
away
always
slowly
there.
along the beach.
Well, it also doesn't recount any of their deaths except for Maya, who has a whole verse where they're like, "Go, Maya, go," and then she just like disappears, and they're like, "Oh."
That is, okay. I wonder how much cocaine that guy was on.
Or just how bored they were. He was like, fuck, we're spending so much time in this Louisiana
Well,
swamp.
what were they going to do instead? Study their characters? Come
What
on.
characters?
That's so weird.
Yeah.
I cannot get over why they did that.
It's very strange, especially because the way that it's cut, which is quite intensely, means that there's definitely movie resources put towards
into it.
Yeah, definitely.
No stunts though. Not too many stunts.
No stunts.
So, okay, in your podcast, does this happen a lot?
Not really.
Music videos attached to the end of movies?
Yeah, or like weird little things attached to the movie.
We don't get that many post-credit sequences.
Yeah, we don't
no.
get that. We I mean, our first episode had one with Nothing to Lose, where it had the like weird trailer for the sequel attached to the end of it.
Yeah, but not really. This is like a special treat for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
You know?
now post-credit scenes are everything.
Yes.
Like Harry Styles has paid $2 billion to be in a post-credit
Every
scene.
Marvel movie now, there's the full credits that has all the people that the audience go, "Hey, I know that name."
Yeah.
And then it'll cut to someone going like, "Oh, you know that movie, the dramatic stakes at the end of that movie? It doesn't matter anymore."
Yeah.
And then they'll have the rest of the credits with like the fucking below the line crew that yuck, ew, who gives a shit about them? And then at the end of that, we'll have a scene of someone walking out and being like, "Hey, I'm X character."
Yeah.
And then everyone goes, "Wow!" It's pretty cool.
Sorry, can we just go back to something you said, Claire?
Yeah.
Harry Styles paid $2 billion.
I
What?
definitely made that up. But
What?
like, of course.
He was paid a lot of money to appear at the end of one of them to like hint at Eros, I
Yeah.
think. He's like
His hair
Thanos' cousin.
swept
Oh, so he
back.
was in a Marvel
Yeah. he's-
post-credits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Got you.
Maybe at the end of Eternals. I don't know. He shows up and they're like, he's the horny cousin or brother of Thanos.
I reckon here they were paid, $10 and a can of Sprite.
For sure. Yeah. I don't know.
That
Come on
was
holiday to
so
Louisiana,
bad.
right? And they're like,
maybe
"All right."
sing.
And
they were-
you can keep your SAG health insurance. And they're like, hell yeah.
Yes. And Catherine McPhee's agent is like, "This is great. This is a star vehicle for her to show off her singing voice." That was so weird,
was
you
so weird.
guys. But also, I am gonna remember that rap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was very memorable.
It
It was very wonderful.
I want to say, to pivot out of this, one thing I love about all of these kinds of shark movies is that they present the shark as serial killers, right? Which I think was the innovation that Jaws did, was it's like, it's not just an animal. It is a intentionally and specific animal, right? But then that gets more and more silly the later we go on, where it is like clearly with just malice and ill intent trying to kill people. My favorite iteration of that is this is one season, because who on earth would greenlight a second one, Australian series called Bite Club.
I remember Bite Club.
Because I was
it had
obsessed
Dominic
with it.
Monaghan in it.
It did.
Yeah.
It was so incongruous because everyone else was like, no name, who gives a fuck Australian TV actors. And then Dominic Monaghan of Lord of the Rings was in it.
Yeah.
The posters for it were on every single fucking bus.
It was huge.
And also, like, it had two twists in it. The twist in the first episode is that the Bite Club in question is like a sort of like Alcoholics Anonymous style thing, but for people who are victims of shark bites.
No.
And they realize it's the same shark because the serial killer is a shark and it's come back and killing again. And then the second twist is that actually one of them is working for the shark and intentionally feeding them
There's
to the
a mole.
shark. And you're like, who is it? Who is it? Oh my God. And I'm not fucking kidding you. On the poster, it's one of those posters where it's like a bunch of them loose in a landscape standing there. And literally in the middle of it is Dominic Monaghan in the distance, like hands together in the Mr. Burns pose, like looking evilly. And you're like, it's him.
It's
And it was.
oh my god! What platform was this on?
Was it on
Channel
Stan?
10?
I think it was on like Channel 7.
Channel 7.
Bite
Yeah.
Club.
It's easily one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
I just look. We have to talk about the shark deaths in this. We just have to.
Yeah, we do. We have
because
to.
the shark deaths, I thought, were in some respects creative. Because they were always different, always unique. You know, I think that the cookie cutter shark attack in the net was kind of
Yeah.
fun and gory.
I didn't like that one. I didn't like that
was
one.
creepy.
I didn't like the let's make the wood like I would have been okay with it if she then lived, but to just like make the audience watch her have to like be forced to strip by these men so they can ogle her. And then they just like drop her into a pool and successfully kill her. I'm like, especially because then the camera was trying to be horny. And I'm like, don't do this now.
It was more the fact that the sharks were like a different kind of shark that was attacking her in a different way. That was like creative. I mean, the grossness of this film and the misogyny of this film. We can't get around it.
Yeah.
But the cookie cutter sharks are kind of fun.
Yeah.
And then there was also the bit where like that guy that got shot in the arm with her on the boat, he climbs up a tree and then a shark launches out of the water and like bites him off of the tree.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's some cleaning up.
That was more fun than when there's Malik and then there's the friend who nobody cares about. I can't remember him. He's just generic jock.
The one that looked like Tom Cruise.
The blonde one.
Yeah. They clearly wrote 5 characters and a guy.
Yeah.
But that was like, he was trying to help Malik in like the most obvious, like, this plan is not going to work, you fucking idiot plan I've ever seen in a movie. And then Malik looks at the shark coming and is like, I'm not going to let him get you, and just drops into the water. And then, oh my God, he gets eaten. And then, oh my God, the shark is still going after him, obviously.
Yeah, well, like, he didn't describe the plan to his friend, so of course his friend would stop and try and help him, and then the shark would just get his friend.
He was only on the water to save him.
I just love that he did launch into the shark's mouth on his little water ski at the end. That was fun. That was festive.
Well, it was also fun when earlier Malik, because he's the guy who gets his arm bitten off, and then he's like...
He's obviously hiding it in his... his sweat
his rash vest thing,
yeah,
where he's like you don't understand, it's West Baltimore style. I think he says, of like an eye for an eye. You killed my girlfriend, so I gotta try and kill you.
And he's like, we're just boys, Nick. We're just boys, go back inside.
And then he wanders into the water, and then whilst he can still stand, a hammerhead shark starts to attack him. And dude successfully kills it.
Yeah.
He got his arm bitten off like 3 hours ago.
Just letting out blood.
He did it. Like,
he had a little washcloth on his forehead.
Yeah,
they were
incredibly impressive.
Yeah.
He's bleeding out, man.
Yeah. And then he's just like drops into the water and just maybe wants to tackle the shark with nothing on him. Nothing.
No.
Yeah. I was wanting a shark to blow up.
Yeah, we got a boat to blow up.
Dustin?
Nick
Old
DeLuca.
Dusty is he is a stunt man. He's a stunt coordinator. So I assumed that he wanted to just put so many stunts in. But the heads of the studio were like, nope, only one blow up.
I feel like we got close though, right? Because like the classic Jaws thing is that the shark explodes at the end.
Yeah.
And then I feel like they were like, oh, well, what? He bites onto a barrel and then they make the barrel explodes. That's silly. What if just the harpoon makes him explode just a bit in his head?
Yeah.
And so he just explodes the shark's brains.
He did explode the shark brain all over her. Also, when she's stuck in the cage at the end, she is clearly small enough to wriggle out of that top section. I was going to say that.
She's been running for 3 hours and 13 minutes.
Yeah, she is tiny.
Her BMI must be nothing.
It's absolutely 0% body fat. She is able to smuggle her way through that top bar. She's even looking at him in the space over her head. I'm like, just
roll on out.
Just try a bit.
Yeah, and when the shark, spoiler alert, the shark dies with air quotes around it because it's Nick DeLuca punches the shark, I assume. No, he uses a massive harpoon. And
was it like a harpoon with a grenade at the end? I don't really quite get it.
And like then Sarah Paxton wiggles out with Nick DeLuca.
DeLuca.
Hey, come on.
DeLuca, you blew up the shark.
Sarah Palsky.
Sorry,
right?
I'm so sorry.
Come on,
Sarah
Palsky.
But then the shark is nowhere to be seen. It has just like floated maybe somewhere, but it's in the bit where Sarah is.
Yeah.
So the animators were like, it's fallen to the bottom of the cage. I don't know.
Forget
about it.
Forget about it.
The thing we haven't talked about yet is that this movie went practical effects. Never heard of it.
Yeah.
What if we clearly can't afford any CG worth looking at, and we do it that way anyway?
Yeah. All we can afford is the sound booth for the end rap.
We blew all our money on the editing of the rap.
That's so
we
weird.
can't
and they
afford
have credits at the end of the end credits. Like,
yeah.
I really can't get over that. It's so bad.
I just felt like the film, when they get to the when things actually start happening. The whole bit at the university is not very interesting.
No.
You're like, we know that you're going to get to a lake at some point and get attacked by a shark. Let's
And
go.
some of
That's
you
the
are
bit where
nerds.
Malik walks in, is like pretending to be angry at DeLuca, and then it is revealed that DeLuca helped him get a good grade. What I love about that, though, is we see him walking to his room and he's angry that whole time. That's commitment to the bit.
Yes.
He didn't walk up feeling joyous and then
No.
go, okay, oh, I'm angry. No,
Yeah.
he walked there furious.
Yeah, good on
As
him.
a bit.
He's a great actor. Just
not a good
great
rapper. Well, what I was going to
Yeah.
say is that it starts off there, but when they get to the lake house, it actually feels like fairly okay script writing. Just because when they get there and then Malik gets his arm torn off, they want to save him, so then they have to think of getting on this boat, and then the boat crashes and explodes. And like, it
Yeah,
is a
that's
lot
great screenwriting. The boat explodes.
Yeah, that was
for
stupid.
no reason.
But the cause and effect of the plotting, I was like, this is great. Like, I feel like one thing is happening after another. I'm kind of engaged.
I don't know,
and
but
then they were just stuck on that island.
Yeah.
And then there was various scenes of the evil hillbillies coming in and out.
But they kind of lose it because they're
They
like, well,
do.
obviously they wouldn't go anywhere. And then they're like, I don't know, maybe they try to go somewhere anyway. And
Well, yeah,
then
they're like,
they get
it's
him.
a shark film. How can we make sure they have to stay in the water?
Yeah.
Otherwise, they would just chill at the house
Exactly.
all the time.
I wanted the shark to like swim up into the pool. You know.
Yeah.
That's
So many. Yeah. There's so many bodies of water that shark could just appear in. A sink.
You know what I would love?
A toilet.
If a shark grew arms and legs and
Yes.
could walk on like an alligator. The
Yes.
gator shark.
That is the next. Okay, who is that
No.
actress who does all those movies? Tara Reid.
Yes,
Tara
in
Reid.
Sharknado.
So this is where I thought the shark would come in. Because they keep talking about this tornado hurricane season, and I just thought they
Because it
flip the shark up
because
in
the
the
water
whole-
level
Yeah.
would rise.
Yeah.
That's okay.
And then the shark would just go like Wizard of Oz it around in the
You
hurricane.
should talk to the screenwriters of this because you and them are on the same wavelength. Like,
Yeah,
We're talking hurricanes. We're talking sharks.
yeah, we're talking a rap battle at the end. This movie, but also I agree with you. I started rooting for them, and I stopped fast forwarding. And when Sarah and Nick DeLuca were like obviously growing closer through this terrible thing that keeps happening to their friend.
oh my God, it's
that is
me,
when I
DeLuca.
get
And there are
horny
these
and
shark
romantic.
people.
When I'm under insane stress, that's when I want to fall in love.
I'm like, let's make out.
Yeah,
Like,
it's the end of
Hey,
the world.
Balski, you got a bit of water on
Hey,
you.
Balski,
Yes.
come
You got a bit of
here.
shark bait
Hey,
on you.
Toots, bring it in.
And
Bring
then,
it
like,
in.
the tamest kiss at the end. And then a shark.
Yeah, for how horny this movie is, it doesn't want anyone to kiss.
No.
Yeah, no one got laid. I actually
No.
thought more people would get laid.
Well,
Yeah.
they get laid through implication because like normally
An
you have
implied
in
route.
these sort of like slashes you have the virgin and then you have the other horny teens having sex and that's why it's okay that they die.
Yeah.
This because it didn't want them to have sex, you
Yeah.
now need to over extreme the virgin, which is why they had a line. I wrote it down. They said, I'm sorry, I didn't write down the exact line. I wrote down my interpretation of it because Malik looks at Dustin Milligan and then like looks over and is like, he basically goes, yeah, it's really fucked up, man. She doesn't date anyone. She never has dated anyone. It's so, we all talk about how sad it is. Like he's so weird and brutal about it. He says something more along the lines of like she hasn't dated anyone in 3 years. She just hangs out with her dog
That's so
all the time.
fucking weird.
Yeah, they're
Get
basically
why.
like, it's so fucking weird, man. I don't know.
She
We all
nearly
talk
drowned,
about it.
And that dog has been there that whole time.
Yeah, I
dog's a
get
sweetie.
it, but I love that instead of just having it be that everyone else is horny, they're just like, no, she doesn't even date anyone. It's so fucking weird.
Yeah, that's so strange. And I was waiting. I was waiting for someone to get their period. And the blood drip over the side of the boat.
No, that'd be icky. Women can't have bodily functions.
Exactly.
Not on my Western screen.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
genuinely don't know if I've seen a single shark movie utilize that, and I think that's because more women need to make shark movies.
Yeah.
Maybe I need
We-
to make a shark movie.
Maybe you
Well,
do. but it's
contact
gotta
Taylor
involve-
Swift. She-
Yeah.
No, contact Tara Reid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, make it about
Okay.
a half alligator, half shark that can traverse both land and water.
Perfect.
I mean, alligators can just do that.
They
But
can.
it's you need a hook.
Yeah.
You know,
I do.
Yeah.
What would we call it?
shark
Shark on
gator.
land.
Shark gator.
Shark gator.
Shark gator.
Sharkgator tornado.
Sharkagator.
The shark gator tornado.
Does it have to be an alligator or can it be a crocodile? Because then crocoshark is not bad.
Crocoshark is
Crocoshark.
good.
Or sharkadile.
Sharkadile. It just
Sharkadile.
gets better and better.
Yeah.
Sharkdile 2, the revenge.
directed by
love it.
Taylor Swift.
I do want to say, I wrote down 2 specific lines that made me maybe fully obsessed with this movie. One was near the beginning, where they first meet the hillbilly with shark teeth, who the moment I saw him, I'm like, there's got to be like a shark cult. And I was so happy to be proven right.
Yes.
And then there's the other guy who has the fucked up face, which is not me being
he's still,
weird. That's how they describe it.
Yeah, even though he's still like incredibly attractive.
Yeah,
he looks fine.
He looks fine.
very
He looks
familiar
great.
as
He's
well.
very upset about having a pretty attractive scar.
Yeah.
They arrive and he's like fronting up, and I can't remember which of them. Is it Blake or Dustin Milligan that's like clearly like fronting and gonna fight him?
Isn't it
or whatever?
Malik?
Oh, maybe it's Malik. Yeah.
Yeah, because they talk about his partner.
Yeah. He
They're
makes
like,
some
hey,
weird.
let me give you some
Yeah.
English lessons.
Oh,
in
that's
the
right. He
car."
says like get English lessons, mamacita, even though she's speaking perfect English.
He's just racist.
He's just being racist. And then they're about to fight, and then the guy with the scars on his face, who's inciting this fight, like looks at him and is like, "Try not to mess up my face," which I think is an incredibly bizarre thing for you to say aggressively to someone, because that's like saying you're definitely gonna win.
Yeah, you're definitely going to
Please
whip
don't
my ass.
hurt me too bad. That's
Do
so-
you have a band-aid?
try not
Please
to
don't hurt
mess up
me.
my face?
Do you
And
guys
then-
want to hear some trivia? Oh, sorry.
Yes.
What were you going to say?
I had one other line,
Okay.
say
and then we get to trivia.
Okay.
One other line, which was just so funny because it betrays the way that in these movies no one are human beings. It's while I don't know what the sport is called. I wrote down waterboarding, but that's definitely not it, because that's the thing. That's the
Waterboarding
torture.
is the torture technique.
Malik was definitely not waterboarding anyone. He was water.
Water, like jet ski? Like
He was on
water
a board.
skiing.
He was water skiing, but it's a board. What's that called?
The synopsis described it as water skiing.
Okay, he's water skiing, but it's a board.
Okay.
But they don't do it on skis.
You can though.
On water.
Yeah,
Well, this wasn't skis, but
I
they called
know.
it water skiing.
it's a water board. Anyway,
Michelle, not everything in life has answers. You know, embrace the mystery.
he does it to signal his joy. You know, because you got to do that. Maybe it's ADI. He goes, ha. Yeah!
Woo!
I just love those in isolation. Woo! Yeah!
Which is
like a sim.
Can you imagine being like brought in to ADR that for an afternoon?
Yeah!
More joy. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Woo!
Yeah!
I love it.
Incredible.
Do you guys want to hear some trivia?
Yes,
I'd
please.
love to.
Do you really want to hear some trivia?
Yes,
I
please.
do.
Are you begging for some trivia?
Yeah.
Jizzing for it.
I taught
can.
you well. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've
I'm
come.
into it.
We've come. Together, we've come.
Together we've come.
Claire, if you
Just like
come by
the
the end of this
sharks.
episode, we've finished the Holy Trinity.
So I thought this would interest you, Michelle, because Michelle worked on Blueback, which involved a puppet as a whale.
It's a
which is a
fish.
big feat.
As a Western blue
Oh, as a-
groper.
There you go. Not as a whale, as a fish, which is incredible. The sharks featured in this film were animatronic sharks,
What?
built by Edge Innovations.
What? Why
Who
did they-
previously built sharks for movies such as Deep Blue Sea, Austin Powers, and even The Orca and Free Willy.
What? How? But
According to Walt Conti, the head of Edge Innovations, 2 models for each shark were built, one attacker and one swimmer. Each of which required very different internal mechanisms. Sharks are this total contrast of stealthy cruising, lurking, and these intense bursts of power. We split those 2 behaviors into 2 different types of models and optimize each to do those things best. So this wasn't CGI.
why did they look
Groovy,
like that
baby.
then? Why
They were
did
puppets.
Why did they look
Didn't
like
you say
that
you were
then?
worried with Blueback that you did it so well people would think it was CGI?
The last thing I would describe this as is doing it too well. What?
I thought the sharks
happened?
were fine.
Did they I mean the water environments, like Dustin Milligan was definitely underwater in the shallowest water I've
Yeah.
ever seen in my life. But that is the easier way to film it.
Yeah.
Why did they look like that? Why did they because sometimes they do prank effects and then they CG over it, which is but they didn't do that as much in 2011. Why did they look like that?
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's insane. You can't do this to me.
I think maybe they were just really into the sharks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really into the sharks.
They just made the animatronics. They didn't use them. They just loved the sharks.
Oh yeah, it was CGI'd, but they still built puppets.
Yeah.
Just to keep around on set.
That's crazy.
No, they used it for the rap video.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the budget went.
What I liked about the rap video was that Malik grew back his arm. And that was really hopeful as an ending.
Yeah.
This is my second piece of trivia and the last piece of trivia because there's not much trivia on this little piece of shit film. It was not screened for critics.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
We have that piece so much.
We were thinking that if we didn't call ourselves rating descending, we should have called ourselves not screened for critics.
Yeah.
Because we encounter it so often.
So much.
Yeah.
To be honest, hey, when we get to the end of this list and we're like, oh, we still want to make our podcast, we should just rebrand it as not screened for critics and just do something else.
You reckon like they didn't even reach out to like Shark Daily?
Shark Daily.
I would have.
They even talk about Shark Week in the movie. Surely, like, Discovery would have, by that point, is it 2011? I think David Zaslav would have already been in charge. They could have been like, come on, look at the shark movie.
And at the end of the rap video, they say, stay out of the water, www.sharks.
No, it's like
Best or
save our
something.
sharks.
Save our
Because the problem
sharks.
with Jaws and then the wave of shark movies is now people go, sharks are evil and we should hunt them and kill them. And we're doing that way too much.
It is weird though because like I'm not an
message.
ocean person. I don't know about you, Claire, but the ocean terrifies me.
Yeah.
I don't tend to go in it very
I think
often.
I have that thing, a fear of deep water.
Yes.
We're
me too.
land mammals. I don't think we
also-
belong in there. I'm happy
Yeah,
for
well,
them
that's
to
what
keep
I was
the
going to
ocean.
say. It's even shallow water. I'm not okay with. My view on it is that we were born on land. We'll stay on land, and they were born in the sea, and they can stay in the sea, and never the twain shall have to meet.
I mean, we did come from the sea, but that was
A long
quite a
time
few
ago.
times. Yeah, a few years ago.
I think it's been long enough that I'm happy to cede that territorial right to the fish and the sharks.
Yeah, I remember as a kid, like being quite scared,
Crawling
of
out of the
sharks.
ocean.
Yeah, like, hello, mother. Because a little bit about my film background. The first movie that my dad ever took me to see was T-Rex. I think I was 8.
Okay.
And I was scared.
Yeah.
I lasted about 5 minutes. I was scared for about, I don't know, 15 years. And even like Eddie Murphy's Haunted Mansion 2 gave me nightmares for 3 years.
Eddie Murphy's
Bless.
Haunted Mansion did scare me as a kid.
Bless.
Yeah, and I couldn't watch Ant's Tale. I couldn't watch Madeline. I couldn't watch Toy Story 2.
What?
My dad really... I talked about this with him.
Some of these
recently.
movies, you're getting the titles wrong. It's very confusing.
Oh, am I? Oh, sorry.
What?
Well, I mean, I
do you
didn't
mean
watch them,
Ants,
so...
Or is there a separate movie called An Ant's Tale?
Oh, I mean ants. But also, as I said, I didn't stick around for very long.
Okay. Do you mean Shark Tale as well? Are you confusing
No,
the
I'm
two?
fine with Shark Tale.
Oh, okay.
I really like that movie.
Christina
I think it's
Aguilera
really
in
good.
that film really
Looking
soothed
at
you.
the colours.
An Ant's Tale is the next Pixar that you've also got to come out
An
with.
Ant's Tale.
You and T Swizzle.
All right, if I have to do it, I wonder who the main characters be. Greg Kinnear would be the voice of Ant.
It'll be Tara Reid again, for sure.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I think there'll be a renaissance of Tara Reid.
Oh, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so too.
So that I was scared for a lot of my youth.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. I mean, I was scared a lot. I just thought it was really funny because it was funny hearing movies that I, a very scared child, did watch and enjoy, but then titled slightly incorrectly. And I was like, am I going fucking
Sorry.
crazy? Shark Story, An Ant's Tale, Madison. All these are
Madison,
terrifying movies.
Madeline in Paris.
Madeline
Emily
in
in
Paris, when Genevieve saves her from the river.
Girl, I did not watch. I was like, this is too loud and scary, and there must be a T-Rex around the corner.
Didn't scare you?
Which movie is T-Rex, by the way?
To be honest, I may be getting that wrong too, because my dad was like, hello, we're in Adelaide, visiting
what
family.
does it
What
look
is
like?
what is a daughter and father to do? Go and see a massively scary movie about T-Rex.
Yeah.
What does it look like?
To be honest, it was just a massive T-Rex walking through an urban complex.
Wait, are you talking about We're Back, a movie I've referenced many times on this podcast?
I hope so, because that would be really
Is
good.
it Spielberg? It's animated?
No, it's not
Okay,
animated.
great.
To be honest, it may have been Jurassic Park.
That's
I'm born in 1993,
Yeah.
so around 9 years old, maybe.
what is hard because was it in the cinemas?
Wait,
Because there was
in
also a
the
movie
cinemas.
called
Wait.
Dinosaur.
No,
but there's not
wait.
in an urban.
Wait.
Have we found it?
There was a movie. Oh, I don't know if this could be it though. It looks very, very minor.
Yes, and
came out in
keep going.
1998. T-Rex, Back to the Cretaceous. Is that what you watched? That's the only T-Rex film I can find.
That looks so familiar. It's just the poster.
Yeah.
That may be it.
I mean, the poster is a T-Rex.
I don't care
very
that we're in the
scary.
middle of trivia. I don't care that this is not relevant. We have
trivia.
to get to the bottom of this.
I mean, okay, so I'm bad at maths.
Is
So
it that one?
1993 I was born. 9 years later, that's 2000.
This was 93.
2002.
2002. So T-Rex movies around 2002.
I mean, it could just be Jurassic
But
Park.
that's what I
think
mean.
it
Like,
may
if
be.
unless it was at the cinemas, like we're talking about
was at
the
the cinemas.
peak of dinosaur movie.
Yeah.
2002. Like, it could have been the Disney movie Dinosaur. It
Yep.
could have been, when did that movie come out?
1998.
1998.
To be honest,
They kept showing
it's
Jurassic Park.
shadowy because I think I blocked it out to keep myself
To be fair,
sane.
Jurassic Park's very scary.
But then also,
It is scary.
Jurassic Park, it takes a while for the dinosaurs to get there.
It does.
You know, and start walking through the offices.
But
and
when
being
they're
like,
there, they're there.
yeah, but I remember that, like, sitting down. Also, as a 9-year-old, it's quite scary to be in a dark room.
It's true.
I am fully with you.
Yeah.
We,
100%.
you know what? Before we were divided by my confusion over the movies. Now we're fully on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrifying.
Very loud
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
And
Overwhelming.
that was my first movie. I do not know what my dad was
So
thinking.
we were all just terrified kids.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Because
Yeah.
every photo of me as a child is I look petrified all the
Yeah.
time. And everyone would always be like, what's the matter? And I'd be like, nothing.
There's
and
a
they're like,
ghost.
you just look terrified all the
Yeah.
time. And I looked ghostly and sick. I was a very pale, sad child.
You did look like a haunted
redhead.
Victorian child. Like,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
My mum sometimes is like, "Hey, you look quite pale." I'm like, "Yeah,
That's
I
your
am-
fault.
It's
Thanks for
me.
the genetics, Mum.
I'm pale." Like, anyway, yes, back to sharks. But also, I wasn't scared. Like, I wasn't scared in this movie.
Okay.
But I still won't watch the scene where Professor Quirrell turns around and Voldemort's at the back of his head. Still won't do it.
I get you.
That's fair.
To be fair, when I was a kid as well, like I would watch Titanic right up until the Titanic got hit by the iceberg and then I would turn it off. Because I was like, well, everything gets fucked from here. But up until that point, it's a really nice love story.
My most famous one that I would tell a lot is one time when I was young, maybe like 6 or 7 or whatever, my mum tried to watch Scary Movie and I was like, it's scary. You know, they're dying. Oh, so I never watched it for a long time because I was like, it's a scary movie. It's in the name. Not a scary movie.
No, not scary.
No, not
quite
scary.
funny, but also
Quite
like
funny.
very like boob butt. movie.
Yeah.
Boob butt.
Aunt Boob's
Boob
hilarious.
Yeah, it's a bit of a boob
Hilarious.
butt movie, that one.
Hey, the look at this movie, it's a boob butt movie.
I would classify this movie as a boob butt movie.
I want a whole movie about him.
Yeah.
He just
Nick
leans into
DeLuca.
his Italian heritage.
Oh, where's the lasagna?
Do you reckon they survived that because for our listeners at home, at the end,
I do that
they've
every time as well.
Stabbed the shark and its brain has exploded onto Sarah Paxton, and they share a little kiss. They get her out of the water, and then the camera pans over a lake, which is the lake that they've just been thrashing around in, and a shark, which would be great for 3D, shark comes out at you from the water, credits.
Yeah.
I found myself thinking, I reckon they would have just that shark and
Clocked it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they're so on edge.
Yeah.
Even like a little kiss
I mean-
wouldn't have soothed anything.
And as you say, like that spear that they use for it,
Yeah.
it clearly makes sharks' brains explode. So it
Yeah.
would be a tough gig just
Yeah.
trying to get the other one while you're at it.
I think they're like basilisk fang it,
Basilisk
like
fang
in Harry
it.
Potter. I'm
That's
making
too
a lot of Harry
scary.
Potter
That's too
references.
scary.
Yeah, I didn't watch
Maybe
that.
that's how we can kill J.K. Rowling. We just
Yeah,
need
yeah.
like a basilisk fan. She's
Yeah.
told us how to do
No,
it.
she's
told us
got
how to
7
do it.
Horcruxes, all right? It's going to be a big job.
Christ.
Yeah. Do you guys want to hear some reviews?
Yeah.
Yes. Rotten Tomatoes gave this film 18%, which is actually higher than I thought.
That's higher than some of them.
We've had
Yeah.
0%.
We've had like 0 for
Really?
yeah.
We have.
Ooh, that's exciting.
The critics' consensus reads, a joyless excursion into the water that doesn't even produce good gore or nudity thanks to the nuded PG-13 rating. God.
What a weird review.
I know. It doesn't even have nudity.
I can't even see a boob butt.
What the fuck? Where's the boob butt? I was told it was a boob butt
I
film.
said this back on our Zombie Strippers episode. Just Google booby and vagina and be done with it. You don't
Booby,
Like-
vagina, moved on with it.
Nudity in movies is fine. Sex scenes in movies is fine. If you just want to see boobies and vagina, Google it.
Yeah.
All right? Just Google pornography, please.
Pornography, please? Question mark.
Yeah.
I was telling Michelle that when I was a kid, I tried to look up vagina, but I couldn't smell it. Smell it?
Hello.
I couldn't spell it, so I kept typing in Virginia, and I was like, "Why is it just showing me the state? I want to see a vagina." It was very confusing for me.
I used to Google girls plus kissing plus beautiful plus soft plus lips plus thank you.
I love it. I
was
used to get
very
my
polite.
Bratz dolls, and I'd make them kiss under the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the couch?
Well, I was hiding
quite
under the couch
tiny.
from my parents. I didn't want to.
How tall is this
Oh,
couch?
so we had like a fold-out sofa bed,
Okay.
and sometimes I would get under it, and then I would,
Nice.
yeah. This
Anyway,
is
back
a
to
review-
sharks.
Back to sharks. This is a review left on IMDb. It's a 10 out of 10 review, and it was left by HP Forever Dark Lord.
Oh.
Yep.
Which I refuse to watch. Too scary.
Too scary for me. Too scary. The subject of this review was way better than Piranha 3D. That movie was horrible. Piranha 3D was a film Michelle and I were going to watch as a bonus, but we didn't.
We were going to watch the original Piranha, weren't we?
I thought it was Piranha
'Cause
3.
isn't Piranha
Piranha
3D on the
1D.
list?
Oh, maybe.
With this, or was it Piranhas, the
might be
second
Piranha
one? That
2,
was
yeah.
like James Cameron was involved.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
First of all, I want to see this movie because I love scary movies. Plus, I think Sarah Paxton, she great actor. Plus, thing I really like was this 3D stunning effects. Petty good. I also like that this video.
She great actor.
She great actor.
Pretty
Petty
good.
good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
I also like that this video was overdone with sex and nudity scenes.
What?
Like Piranha 3D.
Wait, do they mean wasn't overdone?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I mean, look, I can't.
This guy's
Sarah
head
Paxton.
sounds like a Wonderland.
Great actor.
She great actor. Petty good.
I love you, Robocop.
I love you, Rebecca. If Ask Me was horrible movie, this is about Piranha 3D again, by the way.
Oh.
This person's not over Piranha 3D.
They are.
But if looking for good, scary, intense movie with some funny scenes, I say go see this movie or Rent, as it is now on DVD. Overthink actors did petty good job. There's no punctuation, by the way.
Oh, Christ.
So I'm trying to figure out what a sentence is and what
Yeah.
a not. I also really enjoy the Final Destination 3D movie. I say this movie is good for ages 13 and up. Think young kids would be fine with see this movie. There are some gory scenes, but is not overdone as much as Piranha 3D.
Really got a beat his bonnet about Piranha 3D.
Was think the worst scene for kids could be girl is in boat with other guys and she in her bra and panties, then is fed to baby sharks, also ending. I find petty funny.
Whoa.
So I say go rent this movie. Is great funny movie or an Intesne movie. Also recommend check Dreamhouse. 10 out of 10.
The specificity
Petty funny.
of being this,
funny.
like having such a bee in your bonnet
About
Piranha 3D,
3D.
but giving a 10 out of 10 to
this.
Shark Night 3D.
Just out of spite for Piranha 3D.
So specific. I have to meet this person.
So interesting.
Petty funny.
Do you think there's people who... I think the marketing... here I go again about bloody marketing.
You and your PR.
I mean, my PR.
she just won't stop harping on about it.
Kim from Captain Kim.
Yes.
Where's Sharon? So I think there's people who go online and are paid to be like, I love this movie. I think this is great because
Yeah.
there is a new step forward
It's
to
called The Herald
2023.
Sun, The Daily Mail.
Yeah. There's this new movie with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Remember she won an Oscar?
Yeah.
And now she's in a movie about... She's 27 and she's dating a guy who's never dated before because his parents were like, hey, 27-year-old, can you date our little boy and we'll give you a car because you're an Uber driver and your car just got towed. And people are on, like, I've read the comments and it's like, this looks like a good movie. It's great to see movies like this again. And then the next comment is, this movie is really good. It's great to see movies like this again.
Oh, really?
And it's the whole the whole page
Oh my
is
God.
that.
Does every review also end with fuck Piranha 3D?
Yes.
Way
And
better
they're
than Piranha
or
3D.
I love you,
Lawrence,
RoboCop.
She good.
She pretty good.
To be fair, while some of those are definitely like, hey, we sock puppet accounts and stuff.
Yes.
To be fair, it is the return of the 80s sex comedy, quite genuinely.
It is.
And we haven't had big studio comedies for so long.
Yeah.
So genuinely, it's a good thing that we go see them. Well, like,
true.
it's just
Are
been
you
like
dropping these
Bridesmaids
reviews, Michelle?
and Game Night, and then that's it for the last decade, you know?
Yes.
It's
True.
so frustrating.
True.
I wonder what will happen. Maybe a shark will turn up in this Jennifer Lawrence movie.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Okay.
It's actually a shark leaving all those reviews. The shark hates Piranha 3D.
Pretty good.
Okay. For viewers / listeners playing along at home, Michelle just typed, but using fins.
Pretty good.
That's why they can't spell. They have no thumbs. Oh, that's great.
Here's another review left on IMDb, 10 out of 10. Left by Tales of the Wind. The subject is, this movie has a shark that no other... Wait, sorry. This movie has a shark that no other shark movie has in it. So it's really
True.
ominous.
What?
True.
I don't think I didn't read that properly, and I was like, ah. Except for the apparent need for rednecks to play uneducated, sadistic, misogynistic bad guys in yet another movie, I'm still giving this flick a 10 because I love shark movies more than I hate poor character choices. This movie has great actors, sets, directions, effects, and a new shark that isn't in any other shark movie out there. The cookie cutter shark.
Oh, they love that cookie cutter shark.
yeah,
It's because
yeah.
it has the word cookie in it.
Yeah, well, they literally took
Cookie?
a bit. They also took a bit of time to just explain why it's different to other sharks, and it works because as a viewer, you're like, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I'd love
is
to know more
true.
about sharks. I should just watch Shark Week, like, and not this stupid fucking film."
Shark Week is filled with misinformation and bad science.
Is
Don't
it?
watch Shark Week. Watch a real shark documentary.
Michelle's got a bee in her bonnet.
Stick your head in the water. And
It's because David
see a shark.
Zaslav turned the entire Discovery and History Channel and all of them into basically just conspiracy theories and misinformation and absolute bullshit in the name of reality TV.
Wow.
It's terrible. Don't watch. Shark Week is filled with the worst fucking documentaries on sharks. But
Just go
there's
to the
some
zoo.
good ones. Go to the aquarium. You probably
yeah,
won't find
you
any
won't. I'll
sharks.
be like, "Where's the shark? Where's the shark bit?
Looking at the giraffe.
Giraffes. Yeah.
It's not a shark."
looking at the tiger, being like, "Where's the shark?"
Where's the shark bit now, guys? In my opinion, that alone is worth 10 stars, the cookie cutter shark. But the rest of the movie is worth watching. Just look past that bullshit hillbilly stuff. And then
Also,
it had a sad face.
I hate Piranha 3D.
And I hate Piranha 3D. I just thought that this guy was so angry about the depiction of hillbillies. Like, he's
He probably
shitting on
is
this.
a hillbilly.
Yeah.
And to be honest,
Well,
in
it's
2011, that was peak of like, to be funny, we'll just put a redneck in a scene.
And to be fair, it's incredible if he is a hillbilly that he managed to have any punctuation in it, unlike the previous review.
This is what he's talking about.
I don't think hillbillies will be listening to your podcast.
I don't think they're our demographic.
No, that's true.
Look, hey, there's trans hillbillies, all right?
All right, I'll stick up for the trans hillbillies,
Yeah.
just not the straight hillbillies.
Nah.
Yeah, fuck them.
That's fair.
Well, guys, that was the IMDb reviews. Michelle, what was your review for Shark Night?
Well, listen, this is a tough one because on the one hand, this movie is poorly made and awful structure and zero characterization and really bad effects. However, on the other hand, like I said, I watched 3 movies for the podcast and this was the clear winner. No fucking competition. This was genuinely joyous. I don't know if it was joyous in the way it intended, and some of the scenes, like the cookie cutter shark, did genuinely upset me. However, there's still something of a good time. So I don't know what to do about that.
Well, was it better or worse than Piranha 3D?
I haven't seen Piranha 3D.
Just guess.
I didn't see either of them in 3D. At a guess, I'm going to say this is a 3.2
Out of 10.
out of 10.
Wow.
Claire, what's your review of Shark Night?
I haven't seen Piranha 3D.
Yeah.
Well, my review is Sarah Paxton. She's pretty good.
She's pretty good.
To be honest, I think this movie has a lot of heart, but I think people did too much cocaine and the heart was taken out of the script.
Oh.
And there are relatable characters that you fight for. In the end, the shark's just gonna get you.
That's what you learn.
Yeah.
It's always going to get you.
Stay away from bodies of water. Yeah, this was a terrible movie. But I know that.
Welcome to our world, baby.
It is the recurring theme is every guest comes on and it's like, these movies are bad. And we're like, yeah.
We do this every week.
The premise of the podcast. But also I can see how much fun they had. They made a rap video.
Yeah, which by the way, the rap video alone is 6 out of 10, I'd say.
Yeah,
Oh,
same,
yeah.
same.
I might give it an 8 out of 10.
Oh.
Because it's so heartwarming and so stupid.
They were clearly having fun on set.
They were having so much fun.
That's got to boost the points.
And that's lovely.
Yeah.
And, great singing in the rap video. Catherine McPhee was fabulous.
She was.
The only other movie I've seen of Sarah Paxton was Snowy and the Seven Dwarfs. It was a retelling of
Snow White.
Well, you can cut all this out. Snow White. And Sarah Paxton played the witch, or like the mean. She was like, it was set at a college.
Yeah.
And it was like, I'm the witch and I am the most popular girl in school and you're going to get an apple on your computer. That's the bad apple.
In everything I see Sarah Paxton in, she has a really vacant stare
does.
I find in some ways actually relatable rather than sociopathic. Does she have it in that movie as well? Wow.
Yes, she's actually quite good in that movie.
Oh, okay.
But she is a blonde Alexis Bledel in this.
She is.
Yeah, she is.
She just is.
But to be honest, I had a lot of fun.
What would you give it out of 10?
A solid 2.
Oh. She is right, but our brains are warped because we've done this every week. So my rating's going to be higher.
The overall trend of generally guests rate it lower because minds aren't poisoned by these
So
movies.
Claire, something we've been informed by some graphs that some fans have made for us. Our rating got higher as the films were getting worse because we were just getting warped by it.
Yeah.
Like at one point I got to the point of, well, it wasn't over 90 minutes and there was no sexual assault in it. So it's like a 7 out of 10.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
It was a really dark period there where there was a sexual assault in every second movie or rampant transphobia.
Yeah, and we were like, this is such a bummer. We even had to cut an entire film because I just saw the synopsis and I was like, I'm not watching that.
Yeah. And so when you watch regular movies, do you...
When?
When do we have the time?
Yeah.
No.
You have to watch Mr. Incredible. Oh, wait, no, not Mr. Incredible. That's a great movie. Man with the gizmos.
Inspector Gadget?
Inspector Gadget.
How the fuck did...
I didn't realise that Matthew Broderick was in that.
Yeah.
He's
Or
Inspector Gadget.
the
He's Mr.
iconic-
Gizmo.
Wow. Or the iconic Rupert Everett.
I know.
Yeah.
He's
Beautiful.
iconic.
He's great in
He
that
is
movie.
iconic.
He is easily the best bit of that movie.
Because my brain has been warped.
Yes.
My review, because of that
Yes.
fun music video, because they had fun, because I enjoyed watching it, I didn't want to like actually strangle myself in the process of watching it, nor did I have to stop and start it a bunch of times. It was actually really fun. I had a good time. 90 minutes, actually under 1 hour 20. And I liked that they were enjoying themselves. Love Dustin Milligan. It's going to be like a,
Don't do
for
this.
me,
Don't do this.
it's like a 4.5.
Whoa.
Because my brain
so
is
high.
fucked.
It's higher than it is on IMDb. Oh, that's so rough.
Actually, no.
No. It's too late. You said
it's
it.
too late.
It's immutable.
No, you popped it up because of the rap video.
I did, actually.
Unfortunately, famously, we can't edit this podcast, so it's too late. You said 4.5. It's locked in. I've already put it in.
Well, that was our reviews, guys. We are on social media. We're on TikTok under we're on Twitter under Rate Descend We're on TikTok under Rating Descending. Or you can email us at ratingdescending@gmail.com. Claire, where can people find you? Is there anything you want to plug or anywhere you want people to find you?
Well, you can find me at claire.rankine at...
No, what's your home address?
Oh. I was about to actually say my email. Claire.Rankine on Instagram. And I don't have anything to plug at all, except that...
Your beautiful self.
My beautiful self. And everything's going quite well.
Let's plug your hair. Doesn't she have great hair?
Thank you. Oh, yeah. If anyone...
Stunning hair.
I mean, this is not a visual medium, but if anyone wants a hair model...
Yeah,
I'm
honestly.
around.
Honestly, you have the hair. I have said to Brooke that if we have a child, I hope they have her hair color
Brooke's hair
and
is
my hair
beautiful.
texture, and
Yeah.
that's your
Shout out to
hair.
Brooke.
Exactly. Oh my
Shout
God,
out
it
to
is. Your hair is a combination of Brooke and Michelle's hair.
Oh my God.
I have my
That's
hair up so you can
crazy.
tell less, but it's got the same sort of wavy. Yeah.
I love that we're talking about this.
Do you want to be our
this is
daughter?
fun.
I guess is what I'm
Sure.
saying. That's cool. That's cool.
It's a cozy place here.
Yeah.
I can be on the podcast more. Love it.
Yeah, you can sleep under the table,
Yeah.
curl around it every night.
This will be your room, but Mummy's still got to work in here.
That's fine. I can make the Bratz dolls kiss under the table.
Oh my god!
Call
Don't
back.
tell anyone. Where can people find you, Michelle?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at michelle.stclair.
And I'm on Insta under Abigail J Ward.
And pretty please leave us a review wherever you get your podcast. They do genuinely help. Also, like, tell your friends and stuff. We never tell you guys to do that, but
Yeah, tell your friends. Tell your
sometimes I say to someone, "Oh, hey, you should tell that person," and they're like, "Oh yeah, I never thought of that."
I'll tell my friends.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, that was Shark Night 3D. Thank you so much for joining us, Claire.
Thanks,
It's been
Claire.
a delight. Michelle, what are we watching next week?
Well,
scared.
next week is actually also going to be special because Abby is going to be on her honeymoon leave for 2 weeks.
Hey, don't go to a lake.
I was actually going to go to the deep south of America. My friend's got a lake house there. It's
Her name's
divine.
Sarah
Palsky? Sounds made up to me.
She's pretty good.
Pretty good. So instead, filling in as special guest host will be longtime friend of the podcast, Gaten Sousa.
Oh, Gaten.
And we will be watching Recep Ivedik 3.
Oh, good luck with that. I'm glad I'm gone.
I got to get him up to speed on 1 and 2 after we all did it. It's this Turkish comedy film. It's really quite poor.
It's not good.
It's really quite slow and aggressively unfunny. And this is the third of 6
No.
that are
There's so
almost
many.
all on the list.
What's the premise? Turkish comedy.
tell.
A boorish, awful man continues to be ugly and poor in Turkey.
Yes.
It's basically the premise.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
Pretty funny. Oh, yeah, baby.
Well, catch us next week for another really funny installment of Recep Ivedik.
I'll insert at Gaten, like, audio. I'll, like, grab some from him being like, see you then, or something.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ghostly.
Why is it going to be see you then?
It's the shark ghost.
He's the ghost of future Abby.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.